Fugitive ex-Central Bank Chief Arjuna Mahendran, in a bid to clear his name, self-authored an article for a website denying any wrongdoing with regard to the Central Bank Treasury bond scam. But 4 public finance investigative bodies reported otherwise.
පිතාම පැහැදිලිව කියනවා පළවෙනි කෝප් කමිටුවේ හිටපු සමාජිකයෙක් හැට්ට දිවුගුණසේකර මැද.
As a member of the first corp led by DEW Gunasekara to investigate the scam, I can clearly state we uncovered his direct involvement and how bonds were issued to benefit the company owned by his son-in-law. Then second corp investigated the matter and released a report. Thereafter, the Presidential Commission of Inquiry uncovered all details and the Attorney General's Department, with the assistance of the CID, filed indictments and handed them over to the other suspects. However, Arjuna Mahendran has refused to accept them and remains overseas. He must come to Sri Lanka and face these charges as a person who held a responsible position.
වගකීමක් දරපු කෙනෙක් හැට්ට ඒ පැවති ආණ්ඩුව යටතේ ඒකට මුහුණ දෙන්නයි කියන කාරණය තමයි අපිට කියන්න තියෙන්නේ.
What was the first parliamentary investigation into the bond scam? The Parliamentary Watchdog Corp, led by DEW Gunasekara. According to the former Corp chairman, Arjuna Mahendran stated it was then Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe who instructed him to follow the procedure, and he acted accordingly.
Arjuna Mahendran said Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe instructed him to follow that procedure and he acted accordingly. He said this before me. I told him he should swear on a Bible. I have never said that before at the Corp. I did that as Arjuna Mahendran was the only public sector official in our country to not have taken an oath.
In his testimony to the Presidential Commission of Inquiry, Mahendran said he had discussed the matter with then Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe before the 27th February 2015 auction. This procedure, which was changed, is the shift from the direct placement method and adopting an auction-only process, referred to by many in the sector as a deviation of due process. What was the second parliamentary watchdog charged with investigating the bond scam? After a new government was elected in August 2015, the new Corp committee led by Sunil Handunetti found Mahendran directly responsible for the bond scam.
The former governor of the central bank is directly responsible for the controversial bond transaction, and the committee recommends legal action be taken against him and the other central bank officials involved in this transaction.
That's not all. There's more. Retired Auditor General Gamini Vijay Singha, testifying at the Presidential Commission of Inquiry, said Arjuna Mahendran should be held responsible for not preventing the losses incurred by the controversial bond issue. He said in the special audit report it could have been possible to avoid the loss of an estimated 16.7 billion rupees, but the governor had failed to do so. In his testimony on the controversial bond auction, he stressed large bids were placed in the final minutes, especially by PTL, which raised serious concerns in his report. So, not one, but 2 Corp reports, the Auditor General of Sri Lanka and the Presidential Commission of Inquiry, that's 4 independent public bodies, have found the ex-governor of the central bank directly responsible for the bond scam, which caused massive losses to the state. Why should we care? Because the money embezzled belonged to the people, the hard-working people of this nation, the people who depend on the EPF as their only real saving.
Nitiya kriyawata naganu Arjuna Mahendran attarangwata ganu.
Although laws are less lenient when being implemented against large-scale fraud and corruption cases, stringent laws are imposed while granting relief to the common man who fights a daily battle to sustain himself. Several people do not speak about such acts of injustice despite being in hunger or any other difficulty to protect their dignity in the society. However, an incident took place in Mahayava in Kandy today, raising questions regarding the extent to which the people can continue to tolerate such injustice. The Samurdhi officer in the area had informed the beneficiaries of the 5,000 rupee grant to come and collect the payout today. However, a tense situation arose after the names of certain people were not included on the list. Ultimately, the 5,000 rupee grant was not provided to any of the beneficiaries.